My name is Ioana Chira, and today I'm going to speak about what is a good life for me, especially. I was born and raised in Romania, a country where the concept of good life is mostly having a good job, getting married, and getting a house. It's very rare that you hear in my country people speaking about passion, purpose, or simply living the life on your own terms. So, living in that environment, it was quite hard for me to to accommodate and to grow up, because I always felt like my place is not necessarily there. I felt like I want to do something different with my life. I always had body image issues, so that has always been with me since I was a young kid. I had issues with the way I would see myself. And that's especially because especially in the Eastern European countries, if you are not slim, you are not part of that world, and you are basically an outsider. So growing up in that environment, I always felt different, because I was bigger compared to the rest of the people around me. Like, looking now back at those times, I'm like, how could I even believe that everyone that is slim is happy? Because that's not the case. And I even got to the point where I started taking all kinds of tablets just to lose the weight. I started kind of like losing my hair. I started not being able to sleep, and all kind of issues with my health. And everything just for that illusion that if I would be slim, then I would be happy. I'm also coming from quite a humble background, so growing up, I didn't have the means to do everything what I would like, or I didn't even have an inspiration or someone that could tell me, okay, you can live a different life, or someone to say, okay, you are beautiful just the way you are, because the culture in my country especially, it was always diet focused. So I always trusted, okay, that's the right way, I need to lose weight. Once I lose weight, I'm gonna be happy. So that's why when I finished high school, I put like one of my goals was to go to the police academy. Because in my country, the police academy is something that is seen as very kind of like high class, and it's like only the people that are really worth, they are there. And I started training two times a day for over a year, just to get to the police academy, because then in my mind I believe that if I get to the police academy, that means I'm fit, and everyone is going to believe that okay, she's good, like, is everything fine now? And obviously after that year I trained so hard, and the disappointment came. So I went to do the tests and everything, and I failed. And that was the first time in my life when I took like a very big hit, because everything that I believed in, and I was sure that, okay, I'll get into the police academy, I didn't. So in my mind, I always felt that after that failure, people would just look at me, how could she even believe that she will get in there, like she's too fat for that. So basically, on top of judging myself the whole life, I had that disappointment that also showed me one more time that I'm not worthy, or at least that was in my mind. After that failure, I somehow managed to pick myself up, and I went to a different university. I think when I went to that university, the sun started to shine on my street too, because I was in a different environment, and I was offered the option to study abroad. And at that point I was like, I'm not sure, because there were money involved, and I really wanted to do it, but I didn't have the financial means to do it. And my parents, they borrowed money just so I can afford and to go into the United States. And again, for me that was a huge challenge because I never, prior to that point, I haven't traveled abroad. It was the first time, me, a little girl from Romania, going into the United States by myself to study. When I got there, I was like, oh my god, I have a totally different accent compared to the rest of the people. I had a very strong Eastern European accent, and on top of that, you know, the problems that I had with my body, so I felt different. I was very surprised being in US to see that it's a totally different world. It was the first time when I felt included. It was the first time when I felt seen. Because in America, like being bigger than the average, it's normal. And that literally just opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, that means that I was living in a world that was not for me. I was living in a world where I was not included. And look here, I can just go to the shops, I can find clothes. I don't need to, I can dress now colorful. I don't need to go to the old ladies shops just to buy clothes for myself. So that was totally eye-opening for me. Because living in a world where you don't see anything different, you just think that's it. But then once I went out of my comfort zone, I've seen that, okay, well, I thrive so much when I feel included and when I feel seen and simply accepted in the world. After the studies, unfortunately, I had to come back to Romania, and I went back to the same old story, losing weight, and considering that, okay, if I lose weight, everything is going to be fine. I managed, after a while, I was like, okay, this time I'm not going to do the yo-yo effect again. This time I'm just going to do something for myself, and I'm just going to start training because I want to be better, not just because I want to be slim or because I want something different. And after a while I managed to lose again weight. However, the happiness didn't come through. Like everything that I thought my whole life that it's happiness, it proved to myself that it's not. Because once I managed to lose a significant amount of weight, I started to have different issues. Because I was used to living a larger body. When I see myself slimmer, I couldn't recognize that person. And I think that was the point when the body dysmorphia clicked in. And from being bigger, I was slimmer, but then I was having different issues. And I think at that point, I just had to come to terms with the idea that there's no perfect body, in fact. And that everything is more, at least for me, it's just a transition from one stage to another. So after losing that weight, I moved to London. And that was my chance to kind of like start to rewrite my story and to live life as I want. For me, moving to UK, it was a blessing because here it's a multicultural environment, and as we know, beauty means different things for different cultures. So when I moved here, I was like, wow, again, a world that is different, again, a world that is accepting me. And I've been here for like 7 years, so life is going good here. Also, because I started training continuously and be quite active, I started posting on social media. So that's how I started with social media. I never thought that I'm going to end up having millions of people following my work, or just being there for me, or simply just seeing my activities, my day-to-day activities. And slowly, the platform started to grow, and I had a chance to share the message with the world. I had a chance to just show that fitness is for everyone, because I started posting a lot of my workouts. And I know when I started, especially when I started training, I didn't have any people to represent me. So I would go online and I would look for workouts, but I could never find someone that I could relate to. There would always be workouts that I'm not able to do. And instead of feeling good at the end of the workout, I would feel frustrated because I would not be able to complete that. So by me starting to post videos, I simply wanted to share to the people that you don't have to be like an athlete, or you don't need to have the highest performance for you to just work out. You can just do easier things and things that are good for your body. And in my mind, I was just like, okay, I want to change the narrative around fitness. Fitness is not just for slim people. Fitness is not just to lose weight. Fitness is simply a way to feel good, a way to keep yourself healthy, and just to live a good life. So that's like, the more I started to feel good with myself, the concept of having a good life has changed. From being obsessed and chasing an image that I have to be in a certain way, I started training and posting videos simply because it was a way for me to feel good. It wasn't just me chasing the perfect image. And also something that I found out through social media. Whenever I would try to lose weight, I would always lose weight from the upper body, but I never knew that I may have a problem or that I may have a health issue. So every time I told you about the countless diets that I've done, I always thought it's my fault. I'm doing something wrong, or just something doesn't work. And then once I started posting on social media, a few people mentioned about a condition called lipedema. And at the beginning I was like, okay, haters, they're just, again, people saying bad things about my body. And after hearing it a few times, I was like, okay, maybe I should check what exactly it is. And the moment I just searched on Google, I was like, oh my God. And that's when I realized that I also have this condition. Because whenever I looked when I looked at these pictures, I was like, wow, that's exactly how my legs look. And this condition goes in 4 stages. It goes from stage 1 up to stage 4, and it can cause immobility. And also the impact is that it's a progressive condition, so it's not much that you can do about it. So basically you just live your life, you try to be as healthy as you can, and you just hope that you don't get to stage 4. And so for me, on top of having all those issues earlier and then trying to have a positive mindset about working out, now I'm finding out that I have an illness. For me it was very hard to take this in, and I think for about 2 weeks I kept crying, because now it was just something on top that I had to live with, and something just simply to accept that regardless how much I would train, my legs are not going to change a lot. And the problem is that about 10% of the women are suffering from this condition, and they are not aware of, because most of the time this is confused with obesity. So you will go to the doctor, maybe look for, I don't know, do some tests or something, and they would always tell you to lose weight. And you are not able to lose weight, because with this condition, it's basically abnormal fat that it's built in your limbs, and it's not responsive to dieting and training. Which means that if you have this condition, you may end up training over and over, you can be on diets, and your body is not going to change too much. So that's something that I really had to accept and take it in, and then just use my platform to raise awareness on this condition. And there were so many people who went to the doctor because they've seen this on my platform, and now at least they know that it's not like they're going crazy, or that they are not making enough efforts for themselves. It's just a condition that they would have to live with. Also, something that I'm working on to prove to the people, as I've mentioned, that fitness is not only for slim people, that fitness is for everyone. And because I didn't feel represented, I started organizing my own events. So I started organizing my own fitness events because I wanted people to see that there is a different way. I wanted people to see that this is a safe space where they can be included. And I know especially for us women, it's hard to go and train somewhere where we don't feel included. So that's the reason I started working on representation. I wanted plus size women to feel included. I didn't want them to just go to a place and be judged, kind of like you go to train because you want to lose weight. You go and train because it's a community, it's a nice community, and you want to feel good, and you want to be healthy regardless of your size. With the COVID situation, things, I don't know, for me at least it was very challenging because I was mostly in the house, and I've put on some weight. So for me, again, my old demons started coming back, and I started judging myself again because I can't have the same performance, or I'm not the same person physically as I used to be before COVID. So for me to overcome all these things and to leave all the devils aside, I started looking for new passions, and I started walking and just exploring new hobbies. And my new hobby is hiking. And one of my achievements, I managed to go on Scafell Pike this year, which is kind of like the highest mountain in UK. And for me, as a plus-size woman, for me it was a great achievement because other people are training for that month, and I managed to do it in about like 4 hours, 4 hours and a half. That's kind of like average. And again, it was just kind of like to prove to myself that you don't need to be a certain size to do things in life. Like you can enjoy life regardless of your body shape. And another thing that I managed to do this year was swimming, like swimming in deep water, because I was afraid of that, and I was always scared. I would go in the pool, but only if I can touch the floor. And again, this summer I was like, okay, I want to live life on my own terms. And that's what good life means to me, kind of like overcoming my fears all the time. And this summer I managed to overcome one of my fears. And again, the message that I want to give to people is just, as I said, to live life on your own terms. Like we all have problems, we all have certain traumas that we go through, but I don't want that to just let me. I don't want that to stop me from living my life as I want. The message is find a perfect body for yourself, because what means perfect to me, maybe it's not perfect to someone else. So it's all about perception. At least for me, I'm happy to be in this body that I am. Thank you so much.